Does Medicare pay for memory care? And the answer is Medicare covers some, but not all of the costs associated with memory care. For example, it is not going to cover the long-term custodial care at a memory care facility. So the best thing would be to reach out to either your Medicare insurance agent or the memory care facility to get more details on what exactly Medicare would cover towards the memory care costs. So the issue, though, is that memory care is really expensive. So according to Genworth, you're looking at $8,600 for a semi-private room in a nursing home, $98 or $9,800 for a private room in a nursing home. And if you're going to do 40 hours of care a week through a home health aide, you're looking at $5,600. If you needed 24-hour care, the median cost is going to be $21,000 a month. So either way you look at this, depending on whether you're going to get care at home or through a memory care / nursing home, it is very expensive. So the question is, how are you going to pay for it? So again, Medicare is not going to cover the entire cost of memory care, and there are limitations to what Medicare will pay. Family, they might be able to help you. It really depends on their income and financial situation, on whether or not they can assist you financially to pay for memory care. Medicaid could be an option, and the issue is that you may or may not qualify depending on your income and asset levels. Plus, what a lot of people don't know about Medicaid is that Medicaid has the ability to lien the estate. So after the last spouse has passed away, Medicaid has the ability to lien the estate to get back some or all of the money that they've paid towards memory care nursing home. So where most people are going to gravitate is using their retirement savings. The issue with that is if you spend all of your money on memory care, you could leave the spouse in a financial bind, because if all the money has been spent on care, there's nothing left for the remaining spouse to use throughout the rest of their retirement. And then on top of that, typically when a spouse passes away, there's also a loss of household income. So it's kind of like double jeopardy, right? We've spent all of the retirement funds, and we're also potentially losing household income, which could leave the remaining spouse in a bit of a financial bind. And then, of course, if you're drawing out large sums of money out of your retirement portfolio, there are potential tax obligations that are going to come with that as well. The good news is there is an alternative way to pay for memory care, and that is going to be, I'll share that with you in just a second. But this strategy, it really only works for couples where only one of the spouses is either currently in or will be going into memory care, or memory care is being received at home in the primary residence through home health aides, things like that. So this alternative way to pay for memory care is with a reverse mortgage. And there's actually several reasons to consider this, and I'm going to actually show you an example here in a second. But first is it could provide access to income tax-free cash. There could be a significant amount of equity in your home that you could get access to help pay for memory care. And by using the proceeds from the reverse mortgage, it could help retain retirement savings. So again, instead of spending all the money on from your retirement on care, then use the reverse mortgage instead. You may not need any financial assistance from your family, or maybe it'll be at such a reduced amount that your family could actually afford to help support you financially to pay for memory care. And then finally, you have the potential to leave the remaining spouse with additional funds to supplement their income. Again, either that could be through reverse mortgage proceeds or retaining retirement savings. Either way, we have the potential to leave more liquid funds to that remaining spouse when the other one has passed away. So let's take a look at the scenario of George and Lynn. And they're both 73 years old. They've got $4,000 a month of income. They own their home free and clear, and they've got $185,000 in retirement savings. Now, this is a couple that would typically never consider, or the thought probably would even cross their mind on getting a reverse mortgage. But the issue is George has dementia and has become a flight risk. In fact, he's become too much for Lynn to take care of anymore. It has become a health and safety issue for both of them. Tim's memory care is going to be $9,500 a month. And after tax, Sarah can only pay for about 16 months worth of care. And then after Tim's death, Sarah will lose about $1,700 in household income. And Sarah really needs the funds in the retirement account to supplement her income when Tim has passed away, especially because she is losing such a significant amount of income. So Lynn reached out to me to see what this would look like for them. We came up with a couple different options. The first option is to get the reverse mortgage today as a backup in case all of the funds are spent paying for care. And again, assuming that George goes into memory care, he's in there for 16 months and then passes away, at which point Lynn would start drawing $1,400 a month to replace that household income beginning month 17. Now, this option is represented by this bar chart here, and the blue represents the home value, and again, we're assuming a 4% appreciation rate. Historically, that's the average. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but it's typically about 4%. The orange represents the loan balance, and initially we're starting off with a balance of $19,000, and we can see this loan balance is increasing over time. And there's two reasons that this loan balance is increasing over time. First, as we just talked about, beginning in month 17, Lynn is going to be drawing $1,400 a month out of the line of credit to supplement her income. And two, we are making the assumption that Lynn is not going to be making a monthly mortgage payment towards the reverse mortgage. She still has to pay her property taxes and her homeowner's insurance, but because she's not making a payment, the interest in the mortgage insurance is getting added to that loan balance over time. The green represents the line of credit, and initially you can see we're starting off with a $173,000 line of credit, and this does go down slowly over time, and that's because Lynn is drawing out $1,400 a month. And so that's why that loan balance or the line of credit balance is going down over time. Now, what's interesting is if we look between the initial line of credit and the first 5 years, that line of credit has only dropped $3,000. However, Lynn has drawn out almost $56,000 during that time. And so how is it possible that we go from 173 to 170 even though Lynn has drawn out almost $56,000? The reason is because any funds that are available in this line of credit are growing at the current interest rate plus 0.5%. So basically what she is drawing out on a monthly basis is the growth in that line of credit, and so she's only actually drawing and lowering that line of credit very minimally over that time. So again, that's pretty awesome for Lynn. And even in 15 years, Lynn still has $143,000 in here, which again, good for Lynn, because at that point, if she needed care for herself, she could draw the money out, prepay for several months or even over a year of care, and during that time she could then sell this property and net the difference as well. So again, putting her into a pretty good position to be able to take care of herself if she herself needs to go into either assisted living or a memory care facility. The second option is to get a reverse mortgage to pay for the memory care and draw out $9,500 a month for 16 months. So again, we're assuming that George is going to live for 16 months after he goes into memory care. And then after George has passed away, Lynn would stop drawing money out of the reverse mortgage and start drawing down her retirement savings at $1,400 a month. And then her retirement savings are expected to last 18 years. So again, by retaining and using the reverse mortgage first, she's retaining those funds in their retirement savings. And then when George passes away, she has the ability to supplement her income probably until the end of her life, which is pretty awesome. Again, we can see the blue is the home value, the orange represents the loan balance, and then the green is the line of credit. Now, from a number standpoint, this option makes more sense because if we look at this, with the previous option, she would have had a balance of $438, but by doing it this way, her loan balance is only $410. So she's basically saved about $28,000 of equity. And then also, if we look at the line of credit compared to this option, so the first option versus the second option, she has about $27,000 more in that line of credit as well. So this option probably makes the most sense, but ultimately it's up to you on how you would want to use and structure the reverse mortgage.
So I think through the examples I just shown you that you've seen some pretty good reasons to consider getting the reverse mortgage to help pay for memory care. First and foremost is it allows you to do better planning around care needs and finances, and that's because it provides flexibility on where funds come from to pay for care. The reason I say that it creates the ability to do better planning is because if all you have is retirement savings, that's all you have. So there's really not a whole lot of planning around that. But if we introduce another source of funds through the reverse mortgage, there's much more planning that can be done. So you could bring in a CPA, financial planner, maybe an estate planning attorney to help you figure out where are the best, what's the best way and the best source of funds to help pay for memory care. And so bringing on other professionals allows you to do better planning. The other great thing is that it creates access to additional funds, which could create financial stability for the remaining spouse. This is especially true that when the spouse that's in memory care passes away, because household income is going to be lost. And so the reverse mortgage could be used to supplement the remaining spouse's income and also provide another source of funds to deal with other future financial shocks, whether that's healthcare expenses, they have their own long-term care needs, home maintenance, things like that. It just provides that an additional source of funds to draw from to deal with those things when they pop up. And finally, it creates peace of mind for both spouses in the fact that they know that they're not reliant on just one source of funds to pay for memory care, that there is another source that they can draw from, and also that the remaining spouse should be in a much better financial position with the reverse mortgage than without it. So again, lots of reasons to consider getting the reverse mortgage and to see if it is going to help in your current situation. So you want to see how this would work for you. You want to see if it would work. You want to see what your numbers would look like. You want to do some forecasting, look at different scenarios. I'm happy to do that. There is no cost for me to do that. There's no cost to speak with me. And just give me a call. I'm happy to help you and answer any questions that you have about the reverse mortgage and if it's a good fit for you and your current situation. I look forward to speaking with you. Thanks.